Yeah.
Now, this person becomes a person of interest to you after you learned about his tender. But then you start to investigate him. But you continue to request for financial favors from him, even after you started your investigation.
Yes, it's correct. Not
Now,
not my
now,
personal
now,
favors.
now, is that ethically correct? Because I was
Ethical.
going to understand, yeah, you were asking these financial favors not to advance your investigations, because you are going to keep the money, you're not going to use it.
No, not to keep it. It funded. He came with the idea, Chair, that
He came with what?
idea that
Yes.
he wanted to contribute something. He can fund the January 8th.
No, but you said you also requested
Yes,
for the regional
it was now for
the regional conference or what?
the
Whatever.
regional program. Yes.
Yes.
But after he has said he can,
Now the question is whether he requested or he didn't.
or he offered. Yes.
Is it ethically correct to request for financial favors from a person whom you are investigating?
There's nothing to do with ethic, I don't believe. As an agent, I so wish. I don't know how.
So you mean I really don't understand your modus operandi. That is why I was asking. I wanted to understand.
Yeah.
I wanted you to give me more insight of how you operate. So you mean it's correct for you to ask for financial favors from a person you are investigating?
I don't say it's correct. We're talking about is it ethically correct?
Yes.
When someone offers to assist a January 8th or something, and he do it through me.
So you take that money and use it.
Yeah, it was not meant for me. It was for the celebration.
No, but you facilitated.
Yes,
You were
yes.
speaking with him.
Yes, I was talking to him.
Yes.
After he
So
offered.
you took that money. Then what if that money came through the proceeds of crime, or maybe came through the very same tender you are investigating?
Unfortunately, Che, I'm not a prophet to know where the money
No,
comes
no,
from.
no, 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 no. Don't try to downplay this. This is not funny.
No, I'm not being funny.
Because Mr. Mogotsi, I don't buy your story. It's difficult to buy your story because it's full of contradictions. That's number one. Number two, you keep on saying you were pretending on everything you are doing. You were doing. You were saying no. We are saying no. I was pretending to be doing this. I was pretending to be doing that. There is nowhere where you take accountability and say I was wrong here.
No.
How can you take monies from a person you are investigating? How can you ask for monies if I'm investigating Honorable Shongwe here? Because of the evidence that I have at hand, or because of the information which I got was from my informer, because you are saying you got this from your informer, and thereafter I make financial requests. How is that possible?
Chair, I wish this was not spoken in a platform where there are politicians who understand exactly what we're talking about.
What do you mean by that?
Here is someone who presented a story. He was with former Minister Vigitele. He told him, give this Mogotsi money. We want to arrest Senzo. He said that before this committee. I didn't know. The same person talks to me and say, you know what, I want to fund this thing. Even thought maybe Minister Senzo have certain ambitions. He was talking a lot of money, but he only funded this January 8th. And the minister didn't know, was not part. He did not even book accommodation because the minister has official residence here. So if you talk to me in the context of saying as a human being, like maybe, and when I came out of this, I never said, honorable members, I'm a high priest, I'm this. I spoke the truth. This is legend building. This is what I'll do. This is how I obtained the statement. and so many other people who are even serving sentences. So I'm not just at liberty to say this and this and that. And other colleagues who will drive the cars, even here in Cape Town, who will be sleeping with this person, going.
No,
Mr. Mogotsi.
you are living what Nomvalo is trying to.
He's talking about moral. I'm talking about my job.
No. I think because I don't see us making any progress. I'm just shocked. It's amazing to see a person who calls himself an agent of crime intelligence asking for monies from people he is investigating. I mean, it's really shocking, but let's move on because you are being argumentative.
No, Chair.
Please pause on Nomvalo.
Honorable Nomvalo, you asked that Mogotsi, what do you mean by that? Because he says, I wish this was not asked in front of politicians who know how these things are done. We don't know that. We don't know that. So we want you to answer that question. What do you mean by that? What do you mean we know? We as politicians know.
Celebrations. Even your political party.
You're saying he was not asking about celebration. He was asking about
money.
Why would you ask money from a person you're investigating? And you said, I wish politicians, this was not asked in front of politicians because you politicians know. We don't know that.
All right. The person offered the money.
And also, Mr. Mogotsi, also recall that you have made mention of PKT team members who allegedly have been given money in Fort Hare.
In Fort Hare, yes.
Which is something you describe as very wrong and illegal. So you must recall that this is a subject of investigation. You are consistently requesting financial favors from the same person. Now make it make sense not only to us, also to the people of South Africa. It must make sense.
True.
How does that happen?
All right, Chair, let's talk of a criminal case of Fort Hare. There was a case, there goes the police, not an agent. Police goes there and you ultimately got the statement that they were given money by the people they have arrested. This is a different case. Here's a man, I understand you bring to say, perhaps you should ask me, the question should be, is it wrong to do as you are saying? Humanly, I'll say, yes, it's wrong. But I'm saying he offered to assist. And after assisting, something which during celebrations happens, he assisted. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Can I put a different point through you, Chair? The only thing that makes sense to me is you came across this information that this guy is being investigated, and then and I will deal with that when I deal with my questions later. You pretended to be investigating him, and then in the process, you started extorting this guy for money because you had promised him that you will do this or that, including amongst other things, maybe the case will disappear or something like that. Because for me, if you're investigating a person and you still ask for money from the same person you are investigating, the only possibility is that you are extorting the guy the money. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but Chair, it may be perceived like that. But if, for example, when he gave me money, I bought a car or I used that money for myself, I would really be guilty. And if you say, as an investigator, is it appropriate to collect money from the person investigating? Is it right or wrong? The answer is it's wrong.
Were you not the beneficiaries of the people who slept at the accommodation that Matlala paid for?
Myself?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
You slept there?
Yeah.
So what is the difference between sleeping there where the money paid for the accommodation and the money buying for the car? Because you are saying if we're buying the car, you will say, no, maybe I understand. But he paid for a room.
That's correct.
He paid for a room of a person who's investigating him. and therefore you're extorting him.
And his plan was to arrive, to come and have our things. And you know, you can call it extortion, Honorable Malema, honorable members. I'm even thinking perhaps I should look for his lawyer, you know, and give him this money.
Yeah, that's fine, Mr. Mogotsi. You took the money of a
Yes.
person you were investigating.
That's correct.
Yes, and that amounts to an extortion
When
because
it was-
he knew you were investigating him.
when it was paid for the celebration which he offered to pay.
No, that doesn't matter, but you took it. It was you.
That's the
It was
case.
you
yes.
who went to ask for money.
You know, he offered. He even wanted, if you can look at the messages, he even wanted the tables for the gala dinner.
So you have never asked him for money.
I did on that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You have been
Which he did
asking
not
him
give.
for money.
Okay. Now let me accept. Oh, you know, honorable members, I know that, and this has been happening. That's why I'm having a problem that the truth which is required for the committee to get this influence and whatever with the police, how we come here and we focus on this extortion and I was lying, I'm a liar. It does not change what General Mukhwanazi has said. Does not change the properties which were bought. Does not change the killing
No,
of Nomvalo.
Mr. Mogotsi. Mr. Mogotsi.
No, it does, Mr. Mogotsi, because we just made an admission now that you are going
Wait,
to
hold
look
on.
for the lawyer of Matlala and return the money. If we had not done what we have done now,
Yeah.
you are not going to be saying you're going to look for the lawyer of Matlala and return the money because this process has helped you to realize you were wrong to take the money from Matlala.
No,
Okay,
it's not about being wrong.
Let's pause there. Let's pause there.
Protect me, Shay.
Apologies, all of Nomvalo. We know this is your time. You'll be reimbursed. I think, Mr. Mogotsi, here you came. You adduced evidence yourself that there would have been, it's written here, signed and out,
Yes.
that there would have been an allegation or a suspicion that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi was the main witness of this committee, is a CIA agent. It's an information that comes from you that you would have been assigned an obligation to investigate that. You bring series of events, and amongst those is you traveling to Kenya as part of that investigation. Now, all Nomvalo is stressing a question, whether is it legally permissible, whether is it ethically permissible for a person from crime intelligence who is investigating someone to still receive financial favors from the same subject of investigation. That is like a central nerve of what is being discussed here. So
Correct.
other things, leave other things. Focus on the question or Nomvalo is posed upon you.
Yeah, but in addition to what Honorable Member is saying is that
No, Or Malema
I'm talking about
followed up. Wait, Mr. Mogotsi. Or Malema followed up on a question asked by Honorable Nomvalo, which you did not answer satisfactorily.
okay.
So
I did say
that's the issue. So the question of Honorable Nomvalo still stands.
yes to say
Yes.
is it correct? Is it wrong? I said yes, it's wrong. If he's talking in that sense. Now, what Honorable was saying, the reason, because when I think we'll deal about these matters that are present, the police and all this corruption taking place, the 149 comes into it. So to say, if I give it back to him, maybe now we'll focus on
No,
things that-
it won't change the fact that you solicited financial favors from a subject of your investigation. Whether it is brought back and it is tripled when it is brought back, the amount, it doesn't change the fact that there is a solicitation of financial favors from a subject of investigation. But let's pass there. Let's allow Honorable Nomvalo to proceed with his questioning. We'll come to you, Honorable Shong soon.
Yeah, so if you concede to an assertion that it's wrong, you must swallow your pride and say I was wrong.
That's what I said, Che. Because we're talking about, when I was talking about being on duty and someone offering, and then you bring it back and say it's wrong. I said, if you say, ask me, is it wrong? I'll say, yes, it's wrong.
Yeah, and then how do we continue to trust your credibility
With the money that was
with
spent in
that
celebration.
cloud hanging over you?
The committee will decide if the information I give is usable or not.
No, but I'm saying not even the committee now, but South Africans, how do they continue to trust your credibility with that dark cloud hanging over you?
Chairperson, if the person, or even this past January 8th, somebody paid. The people do spend. Now I say, okay, because it's a subject of investigation, it was wrong. There comes that cloud. I'm saying it was wrong. But it doesn't mean I did not produce evidence here. It does not mean the evidence and the information I'm bringing does not exist.
Yeah, we are saying Matlala told you that he gave Mkwanazi. Mr. Matlala told you that he gave General Mkwanazi some money.
Something.
Did you take it? Not money. He said something.
Yes, I told he said I gave him something, but it will be presumed as money.
So you didn't ask what kind of thing he gave?
No, he didn't. Remember, he was talking to me from prison over the phone. He
Yeah.
didn't tell me how much.
Because that is another part. So he called you from prison.
Yes.
What was he using to call you? A telephone?
A cell phone.
A cell phone?
Yes.
In prison?
That's correct.
Is it legal to use a cell phone in prison?
It's not legal.
Why did you not?
I mean, it is not legal at all.
Yeah, because you know why I was asking your modus operandi.
Yeah.
Here is a person who is breaking the law. And you are saying you are an agent of crime intelligence.
Yes.
You know, I was in the portfolio committee of correctional services.
Yes.
We're doing oversights in correctional service facilities because of a dominant criminal activity within the precinct of carrying cell phones. And cell phones are used to facilitate crime inside prison. Now, here you are saying to us, you are an agent of crime intelligence. There is this person who is committing a crime speaking with you, and you are not reporting that.
Chairperson, and thank you that you are doing oversight. In those correctional centers, you should have asked them, do you take these people to town to buy phones? You cannot even say it's crime. When a phone is ringing on my phone, once a phone rings and I answer saying I'm Cat, you will never know if it was borrowed by a police inside or where does he get the phone. What is important is to get the message.
So you never raised that with anyone?
No, I can never raise it with anyone.
Yeah, so it was business as usual.
It's not business as usual.
No, but here you are not a normal person, remember, Mr. Mogotsi. You are not an ordinary citizen. We are working with crime intelligence. Crime intelligence. And you are saying you have your informers from whom you take information.
Including in prison.
Yeah. So how do you justify now a scenario in crime is committed in front of you and you don't say anything?
You see, Chairperson, my job, if people are stealing chickens in the street and my house, it cannot fall in my scope of work. I'll just look at them. Let me tell you an evidence which was brought here by Patricia Mashali about a person inside prison. That person could not have taken out that information if he did not have a cell phone. There are cell phones. It's not my fault that there are cell phones in prison. But the important thing is just look at this now. If I drop the phone and say, I'm going to report you, I wouldn't have known that General Mkwanazi had a meeting with Cat Matlala. And that was a very important message that he was giving to me. So I had to say, and also to add, Chairperson, when he was talking to me, it appeared on the news that he was found talking on the phone. And he was talking to me. And it's worrisome. But he gave me information that he was, and no one is concerned Well, it was clarified that General Mkhonazi never said he won't meet criminals. He said he won't make peace. It's clarified. But I was concerned that he met with Ket Matlala.
Okay, yeah, we are talking about cases which were opened in KZN and later suppressed. You are saying they were opened in police stations, in different police stations.
Cape Town.
No, the cases which are related to harassment
Oh, yes.
in the Zulu Royal House.
Yes.
Yeah. So to which police stations were they open?
I don't know. They just said they tried to open police station. The 8 and Prince Zulu.
Who?
Prince Zulu, Smakati.
So, I mean, you have written it here under oath in your statement. So you didn't make an effort to probe it further, to get some details, even names, because if we want to take it further, we must go to those police stations
No, the case
and
that
see if really cases were opened and were not attended to.
no, but Chair, that was not my job now. I can never inquire and know. What is important, just like here. Fadil Adams opened cases here against whoever. They were not taken serious, nothing happened. He then went to Soweto.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying it's your job.
Yes,
I'm saying here to you, you have written this in your statement
yes,
as evidence.
yes.
So to help your evidence, not because you are doing anybody's job, but to help your evidence, did you probe this further? Maybe
Yeah.
just to ascertain, because you can't rely on hearsay and say, this one told me this, I wrote it. It was not my job to inquire about it. Whereas we have written it here in your statement.
It's true, Chair.
Yeah, because here you are helping the committee, correct?
That's correct.
To probe all these allegations.
Yes.
So now we're in the dark because we want to know these police stations
Yeah.
so that we can take the matter further.
No, I can take it very easy, Chair. The matter was transformed on page 9, was transferred to Nongoma under case 974. This case number is in Nongoma. When we get to Nongoma, we'll get the A1 statement in the docket with the name of the complainant, and that's where he'll be able to give. But other thing that I can do, if I'm allowed, because I can ask someone to obtain additional statement to that effect.